So what do you do when you feel like giving up? Let's talk about it. Hi, and welcome to Mental Health Mondays. Join me while we embark upon a journey to learn more about our own personal mental health. Remember, you are not alone. This gathering is only to help us hash out some things to understand ourselves better. That being our mental states, our personality traits, and even disorders. And so with that being said, we're going to read our first article and we're going to discuss it. But before I get started, I want to remind you to check out
Anna Lemind, The Power of Misfits,
and visit The Learning Mind. It's a wonderful site that talks about all things relationship, mental health. There's some science in there. There's some just amazing spiritual and enlightening topics that you might want to look into. Great place. We'll have both links in the description box, and make sure to check those out before you leave. And if you enjoy this content, and I'm going to be here on Mondays doing the Mental Health Mondays and bringing fresh insight about mental health from a perspective of someone who has mental health disorders. So like I said, you're not alone. So if you like this content, you want to hear more, make sure you like and subscribe. That way you don't miss on anything on Mondays or other things that I have in stores. Okay, today's topic and title is 8 Things to Do When You Feel Like Giving Up. When you feel like giving up, your mind doesn't automatically go to ways of improvement. But there are things that make life feel worthwhile. I think we've all felt this way before, like giving up on everything. I know I have. Life can be difficult, so hard to the point where there seems to be no solution to problems. But on the flip side, life is beautiful. And if you feel like giving up, there are ways to turn it around. It takes a lot of pain and heartache to reach the desire to give up. Sometimes it's unexplainable, but it happens. These feelings can be strong, making you lose all interest in things you used to love, and even lashing out at others. When you feel like giving up, you lose compassion too. Then at other times, you may be kind to others, but secretly, you feel despondent, hopeless about your own life. But the good news is there are things you can do to help yourself. Okay, when you feel like giving up, accept changes. That is something that a lot of us struggle with. I know change doesn't come easy for many. Many times people feel like giving up because they cannot hold tight to the good times. One huge truth about life is that it's never good all the time. Things change. And if you don't like change, that's just something that you have to face. Things change. And the faster you can grow accustomed to this fact, the less likely you will feel like giving up on everything. And that's true. Just remember this. If things are bad, they won't always be this way. And likewise, if things are good, they won't always be that way either. It's just the natural ebb and flow of life. Make peace with that. Number 2, this is the second thing you can do when you feel like giving up. Be inspired. Find something to inspire you, whatever that may be. You can read books, watch documentaries of successful stories. This will help you see how people can be at their lowest point and still rise above adversity. And It can really help you keep going. Number 3, past achievements. Recalling your past achievements is very important. One way to keep moving forward is to remember the good things from the past. Do you remember when you finished college? Do you remember when you helped a friend through a tough situation? Well, perhaps you remember how you landed a job. There are so many things in your past, among the bad, that are positive. Now, I know some people have it extremely difficult, and I don't downplay that. But there's always something that puts a smile on your face at the end of the day. Think of these things to help you get through your present situation, and think of what put a smile on your face in the past. Number 4, practice gratitude. Give thanks. Always give thanks. This one actually intersects the point about remembering your past achievements, because in the midst of giving thanks, you remember all your blessings in life. Practicing gratitude, even in the darkest times, it somehow elevates your emotions and your outlook on life. When you're thankful for what you have, the things you don't attain, they seem so much smaller. Yes, it might seem unbearable. It may be almost unbearable, especially in today's time. When you can have something you want, or something you need, most importantly. But it can always be worse. So thankfulness is important. So keep a journal. Try keeping a journal. Write all of these things down that you're thankful for, and read them when you feel like giving up. And it may give you that little push that you need for that day. And we take it one day at a time. I've learned that. Number 5, the right relationships. It's so important to have good, healthy relationships. It could be that the feeling of giving up stems from being in toxic relationships. Being surrounded by people who use you, don't provide needed support, but yet you support them, or even throw insults in your face, can make you feel so hopeless. Now, when you can't support someone financially, you can't. But you can always support them mentally and emotionally, and they do the same. That's a good friend. You may even start to isolate yourself without good relationships. And during this isolation, the beautiful things in life start to take on a hue of gray instead of a full color. If you think you're around toxic people, then it's time to distance yourself from them, to be honest. So you can feel good about yourself. At first it might be painful, but after a while you will regain your self-worth when you do this, when you realign yourself with healthy relationships, positive relationships. Number 6, very important. You may feel like giving up if you're not taking care of yourself. Some of us lose hope when we mistreat our bodies, and over time we start to feel physically bad. This could be due to eating unhealthy foods, never exercising, never smiling, and even walking around with our heads down. And yeah, it's hard to just force that stuff when you're not feeling it, but fake it till you make it. It works. One way to stop feeling like giving up is to practice more healthy actions, both physically and mentally. Sometimes you have to push yourself. I mean, literally push yourself to get started, get out of bed, because hopelessness dulls motivation. And yet, motivation can decrease hopelessness. It works both ways. This is why practicing healthy lifestyles over and over is important. Consistency, repetition. Our parents teach us that even, you know. Number 7, find an accountability partner. This is good support. It's easier to fail at something if you have no one to support you. And it's not just about support. It's also about having someone to call you out on things. When you're being deceptive, when you're lying, yeah. It's hard to make somebody, get somebody that can be an accountability partner to hold you accountable for the negative things you're doing. But it helps you. Yes, not being honest with yourself will eventually make you say, hey, I feel like giving up, because you know what you're doing. Get someone to hold you accountable for all your actions, good and bad, and this will help you change your mindset. And it will take one day at a time yet again. Number 8. And this one is just the greatest. Hold on to hope. Hold on to hope. Although life can be incredibly hard to navigate, there's always hope. And there's always hope. Hope deferred makes the heart sick. Giving up means not giving the next day a chance, the next job, the next relationship. In all the dark places in the world, there is a light there as well. Keep that in mind. So being patient during these hard times is key to getting through these hard times. If you feel hopeless, patience can help you stay calm, and it can guide you to positive ideas in life. Instead of giving up, hold tight. Maybe you can hold tight to patience and hope. Just like something to steady you and keep you stable. And more likely than that, things will change. More likely than not, excuse me. So the bottom line is life isn't always negative. I know it may look that way, especially right now. When you feel like giving up, please understand that you're not the only one who sometimes feels this way. You are not alone. I think most of us fall into hopelessness at some point or another. I know I do. And the most important thing to do when you start feeling like this is to just take care of yourself. Back to that point. Take care of yourself. If you need to sleep, then you sleep if you can. Naps are great. Recharge, sleep for a while. Spend some time in a quiet place, which is also important, because if there's a lot of noise, you can't think as well. A lot of us can't. There may be those who think better, who are used to the noise and the consistent sound. But silence is so underrated. I'm telling you, it really helps. Do these things. Do what you need to do, honestly, in order to examine your purpose in life, to reset your path to your goals. And remember, most of all, I want you to remember this: you matter. You matter. And you should never forget that. I matter. You matter. Everybody matters. So, what I'm going to leave you with today is giving up. Look at it this way: giving up is not an option. And if you can keep this in mind, you're going to try all these steps to make sure that you keep at it. That you just give life another shot. Never give up. Never give up. There's too many reasons, too many people that need you, and you might not know they need you. And there's a legacy that you leave. So thank you for joining me, and make sure you check out Anna Lamine's book and The Learning Mind in the description box. They'll be listed down there if you have any questions. Thank you. Bye-bye.